Ever find yourself wide awake in the quiet darkness, staring at the ceiling around 3 o'clock in the morning? Maybe you've been asleep for a few hours, dreaming away, and then suddenly, click, you're just awake, and try as you might. Maybe you toss and turn, but sleep just won't come back. It's a painful reality for so many of us as we get a little older. That middle of the night wake-up call can leave you feeling exhausted before the day even begins, affecting your energy, your mood, and just your overall enjoyment of life. You might wonder, why is this happening? Why can't I just sleep through like I used to? There's a kind of secret to why this specific pattern becomes so common, and it's tied into some natural changes our bodies go through. But the good news is, understanding it is the first step, and there are absolutely things you can do about it. In this video, we're going to look at some of the surprising reasons you might be waking up too early and, more importantly, explore simple, practical steps you can take starting today to help you sleep more soundly. Hopefully, past that 3 a.m. mark, watch to the end, because there's something that might truly surprise you and make a big difference. So, let's dive into why this might be happening and what we can start doing about it. One of the biggest factors, and it might sound a bit technical, but stick with me because it's really quite simple when you understand it, is something called our circadian rhythm. Think of your circadian rhythm as your body's internal 24-hour clock. It controls all sorts of things, like when you feel hungry, your body temperature, and most importantly for our topic today, your sleep-wake cycle. Now, as we age, this internal clock can start to shift a little. It's not necessarily breaking, just maybe ticking a little differently. One common change is that our bodies naturally start producing less of a hormone called melatonin. Melatonin is often called the sleep hormone because it helps signal to your brain that it's time to wind down and prepare for sleep. With less melatonin, that signal might not be as strong, or it might come earlier in the evening, leading you to feel sleepy sooner. But the flip side of this is that the drive for sleep might also lessen slightly throughout the night. Another related change involves our actual sleep architecture. We tend to spend less time in the deeper, more restorative stages of sleep as we get older. We spend more time in lighter sleep stages, and we might wake up more frequently throughout the night. Waking up during a lighter stage is much easier than pulling yourself out of deep sleep. So, if your body naturally cycles into a lighter stage around that 3 a.m. mark, and your sleep drive isn't as strong as it used to be, you're more likely to fully wake up rather than just briefly stir and fall back asleep. Add to this that, as we age, we might have more things on our mind, worries, to-do lists, health concerns. When you wake up, even briefly, your mind is quicker to latch onto these thoughts because it's not sinking back into that deep, unconscious state. Suddenly, your brain is wide awake, thinking about everything and nothing, and sleep becomes elusive. Okay, so we understand a little about the shifting clock and lighter sleep, but what can we actually do about it? One of the most impactful things is paying attention to light. Our circadian rhythm is heavily influenced by light, particularly sunlight. Getting exposure to bright light, ideally natural sunlight, early in the morning can help reset your internal clock. Think about it. Historically, before artificial lights, humans woke up with the sun and went to sleep after dark. Our bodies are still wired that way. When you get morning light, it tells your brain, okay, it's daytime, time to be alert. This helps strengthen the signal for when it should be time to sleep later. Aim for 15 to 30 minutes of natural light shortly after you wake up. This could be having your morning cup of tea or coffee by a window, going for a short walk outside, or even just sitting on your porch. The key is that it should be bright. Natural light. Much brighter than indoor lighting. Now, if morning light is important, evening light is equally, if not more, crucial. Exposure to bright light, especially blue light from screens like phones, tablets, and computers, in the hours before bed, can seriously disrupt your body's melatonin production. Remember, melatonin, the hormone that tells you it's time to sleep. Blue light basically tells your brain, Hey, it's still daytime. Stay awake. Using these devices right before bed can suppress that melatonin signal, making it harder to fall asleep initially and potentially contributing to those middle-of-the-night awakenings. Try to dim the lights in your home in the couple of hours leading up to bedtime. Avoid screens or, if you must use them, turn on the night shift or warm light settings that filter out blue light. Reading a physical book, listening to calming music, or chatting with a loved one under soft lighting are much better ways to wind down. Beyond light, let's talk about movement. Regular physical activity, even moderate levels, can significantly improve sleep quality. It helps regulate your body clock, reduces stress, and increases the time you spend in deep sleep. It doesn't mean you need to run a marathon. Simple activities like walking, gardening, swimming, or doing some gentle stretching or yoga can make a big difference. The timing of your exercise can also matter. While any exercise is generally better than none, vigorous exercise too close to bedtime, say, within 2 to 3 hours might actually make it harder for some people to fall asleep because it raises your body temperature and heart rate. Experiment to see what works best for you. But generally, earlier in the day or late afternoon is ideal. Think about adding a little bit of enjoyable movement into your daily routine, like that morning walk to get your sunlight exposure. It's a 2-for-1 deal for better sleep. Incorporating these simple steps, understanding the light connection and adding movement, can lay a solid foundation for a better night's rest. But there's still more we can do, especially when it comes to those pesky nighttime awakenings. Continuing on our journey to better sleep, let's talk about something else that changes as we age and can seriously mess with our sleep. And that's our relationship with the bathroom during the night. It's incredibly common to need to get up at night, often multiple times. As we get older, this is sometimes due to natural changes in kidney function and bladder capacity, or it can be related to other health conditions or medications. Waking up to use the bathroom naturally interrupts your sleep cycle. If you're already in a lighter sleep stage, that interruption can fully wake you up, making it hard to get back to sleep, especially if your mind starts racing once you're alert. So, what can we do to minimize those nighttime trips? One practical strategy is to manage your fluid intake in the hours leading up to bedtime. Try to limit how much you drink in the last 2 to 3 hours before you go to sleep. This doesn't mean dehydrating yourself during the day. It just means being mindful of timing. Some people find it helpful to have their last substantial drink with dinner. Also, be aware that certain drinks are diuretics, meaning they make you need to pee more. Alcohol and caffeinated beverages like coffee and tea are the main culprits here. Not only can they make you need to use the bathroom at night, but they also directly interfere with sleep quality, making sleep lighter and more fragmented. Cutting back on caffeine, especially in the afternoon and evening, and limiting alcohol, particularly close to bedtime, can make a significant difference in reducing nighttime awakenings. Another tip related to nighttime bathroom visits is to make the journey as non-disruptive to your sleep as possible. If you have to get up, try to keep the lights low. Using a bright overhead bathroom light in the middle of the night is like shining a flashlight directly at your internal clock. It screams, "Wake up." Consider using a small nightlight in the hallway and bathroom, or perhaps a flashlight with a dimmer setting. Just enough light to safely navigate without fully alerting your brain. Get up. Do what you need to do efficiently. And get back to bed without engaging your brain in other activities or looking at your phone. The goal is to minimize the time you spend fully awake and make it easier to transition back to sleep. Now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about something that impacts sleep more than we often realize: our diet and what we eat. And when. Just as caffeine and alcohol can disrupt sleep, so can certain foods or eating habits. Eating a heavy meal right before bed can cause digestive discomfort, heartburn, or indigestion, all of which make it difficult to fall or stay asleep. Try to finish eating your evening meal at least 2-3 hours before you plan to go to sleep. This gives your body time to properly digest the food before you lie down. On the flip side, going to bed hungry isn't good either, as hunger pangs can also wake you up if you need a snack before bed. Choose something light and easily digestible. Small amounts of complex carbohydrates or a little protein can sometimes help. Think a small banana, a handful of almonds, or a little bit of yogurt. Avoid sugary snacks, as they can cause a sugar spike and then crash, potentially disturbing sleep. Also, be mindful of spicy or fatty foods in the evening, as they are more likely to cause indigestion. Another dietary consideration is your overall nutrient intake. Deficiencies in certain vitamins and minerals have been linked to sleep problems. For example, magnesium is known for its calming properties and plays a role in sleep regulation. While it's always best to get nutrients from whole foods, and you should talk to your doctor before taking supplements, ensuring a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains supports overall health, including sleep. Foods like leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and whole grains are good sources of magnesium. Finally, let's touch on stress and worry. It's probably no surprise that stress is a major sleep thief. When we're stressed or anxious, our bodies release cortisol, a stress hormone that promotes alertness. If you find yourself lying awake with your mind racing, whether in the evening or after that 3 a.m. awakening, it's likely stress playing a significant role. Finding ways to manage stress is crucial for improving sleep. This could involve gentle activities like deep breathing exercises, meditation, gentle yoga, spending time in nature, or engaging in hobbies you enjoy. Developing a calming pre-sleep routine we touched on earlier is also a form of stress management. This routine signals to your body and mind that it's time to wind down and let go of the day's worries. Even just 10-15 minutes of quiet, relaxing activity before bed can make a big difference. Trying to force yourself to sleep or getting frustrated because you're awake only increases anxiety, making sleep even harder to achieve. If you wake up and can't fall back asleep after 15-20 minutes, it's often better to get out of bed. Go to another room with dim light, and do something quiet and relaxing until you feel sleepy again. Then return to bed. This breaks the association in your mind between your bed and being awake and frustrated. By managing fluid intake, being smart about nighttime bathroom trips, paying attention to what and when you eat, and actively working on stress management, you're adding powerful tools to your sleep improvement toolbox, getting closer to sleeping soundly through the night. We've talked about the shifting internal clock, the role of light, the impact of movement, managing nighttime bathroom trips, and how diet and stress play a part. Putting these pieces together forms a powerful approach to tackling that frustrating 3 a.m. wake-up. Remember, the goal isn't necessarily to sleep like you did when you were 20. Sleep patterns do change naturally with age, but to improve the quality and continuity of your sleep so you feel rested and revitalized. It's about working with one kontin to win I can tin under you the condors and tina on mont. Minda sadan tagusuns konjimuna tun restint do fundim ones into the bulabrino. Tush. Botorinon. Bumount course abazanakri due counteriri. Not against it. Think about the strategies we've discussed, embracing natural light in the morning to set your clock, dimming artificial light in the evening to encourage melatonin, adding gentle movement to deepen sleep, being mindful of fluids and diet to reduce nighttime disturbances, and actively managing stress to quiet a busy mind. None of these require drastic overhauls or expensive equipment. They are simple, everyday adjustments that, when practiced consistently, can accumulate into significant improvements. It's like tending a garden. Each small effort contributes to overall growth and health. One thing that often surprises people is how much simply changing their attitude toward sleep can help. If you're constantly worrying about not sleeping enough, or dreading that 3 a.m. wake-up, that anxiety itself can be a huge barrier. Try to approach sleep with a sense of curiosity and patience rather than frustration. If you do wake up, remind yourself that it's okay. It's common, and you have tools to help you drift back off. Like the quiet activity suggestion. Don't lie there dwelling on it or checking the clock. That just ramps up the stress. Instead, focus on relaxing your body and mind. Another point often overlooked is the importance of routine. Our bodies, particularly as we age, thrive on routine. Going to bed and waking up around the same time each day, even on weekends. helps reinforce that natural sleep-wake cycle. While it can be tempting to sleep in on a Saturday morning to catch up on sleep, this can actually throw your body clock off even more, making it harder to sleep the following nights. Consistency is your friend when it comes to sleep. Try to establish a calming bedtime routine, perhaps reading, listening to soft music, or taking a warm bath to signal to your body that it's time to transition from being awake to preparing for rest. I know. And don't forget about your sleep environment. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary for sleep cool, dark, and quiet. Make sure your mattress and pillows are comfortable and supportive. Block out any external light sources. Even small amounts of light from streetlights or electronic devices can interfere with sleep. Use earplugs or a white noise machine if noise is an issue. Creating an optimal environment makes it easier for your body to settle down and stay asleep. Implementing these changes might take time, and that's perfectly normal. Don't get discouraged if you don't see results immediately. It's a process of discovery and adjustment. Pay attention to what makes a difference for you. Keep a simple sleep diary for a week or two. Note when you go to bed, when you think you wake up, what time you get up, and any factors you think might have influenced your sleep, like eating late. Stress, exercise. This can help you identify patterns and see which changes are having the most positive impact. Remember, you are not alone in dealing with this. Many people experience changes in their sleep as they get older. The important thing is to know that there are effective strategies you can try. Be patient with yourself. Be consistent with the positive changes you decide to make. And celebrate the small victories. Every extra hour or even just a little bit more uninterrupted sleep makes a difference in how you feel and function during the day. I truly hope that understanding why this happens and learning about these simple, actionable steps gives you a renewed sense of hope and empowerment. You have the ability to influence your sleep quality significantly. Start small. Pick one or two things that resonate with you and build from there. What did you find most surprising or helpful in this video? Have you tried any of these things before? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Sharing can help others in this community too. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. It really helps the channel and lets me know I'm making content you appreciate. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing so you don't miss out on future videos with tips and insights for living your best life at every age. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, small changes can make a big difference to your health and happiness. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep living your best life.